Okay, I didn't get to watch the Celtics game today. The Celtics 76ers, but I literally just finished it and it's like 12 in the morning now because I decided I just wanted to watch the full game because and I heard a lot of things on Twitter and we'll get to that, but basically I knew the outcome of the game even though I did watch it again. I just wanted to watch it to see what actually happened. And wow, like I stopped at the third quarter. I'm not gonna lie because I knew the outcome of the game and I was just like, all right, yeah, I see what's wrong here. But to start off, man, like I like the 76ers were doing really good in the beginning. Like the first half was really good. It was a close game, like 53-55 something like that. Like I can't remember 53-55 or something like that. 50 something. Anyways, like the defense was on point. Tobias Harris was playing good defense. PJ Tucker was playing great defense. When what's his name was in there, Shake Melton was in the game. He was playing really good defense, and then Joel Embiid was playing really good defense. And like I was just so confused because it was a really tight game at the first half, and I was just like, oh man, this is gonna be a really good game. Well, even though I knew the outcome, no, okay. So when I was watching it, I was more like, okay, so how did this even happen? How did like they get blown out in the game seven? If this is what I'm seeing right now, and then you see the game go along, you see the two technicals or the three technicals, basically one on Harden, one on George Niang, which stupid. Like, why would you even do that, George Niang? Like, that's stupid to even like pull a man's knee like that. And another one on Jaylen Brown, even though I don't think it was. He should have even gotten it, but that's whatever. Um, but I was just like, okay, so how did we get to the point where it's just a blowout at the end of the game? Like, what happened for the 76ers to just be like, all right, like, and then I see it throughout the game, but I'm like, okay, well, he'll make the adjustment. Both of them will make the adjustments that they need to, and the players that I'm talking about are James Harden and Joel Embiid, man. Like James Harden, every time there was a freaking game, like every time he kept on running through or just driving to the lane, it was just a pass out. Like every single one of them was literally a pass out. I'm not even joking. It felt like almost every single one like was just a pass out when he kept driving to the lane. I was like, and he had like 5 or 6 times where he was just open and he just kept passing out. I was like, what the hell are we doing? You need to just drive and make the shots, man. And then the times he did make the shots were like the freaking times Al Horford was on him. And I was like, why are we just switching where Al Horford goes on to him? What? And then you had Joel Embiid barely have any rebounds, barely have any points at all when it's the game seven. And like, Joel, like, and I see on Twitter, it was just, oh, Marcus Smart. I can't believe that Marcus Smart was on him and that he couldn't make any shot. Like when Marcus Smart was on him, I like every time he kept driving to the lane and he kept making it or got fouled or whatever. So I was like, okay, Joel Embiid's actually driving when Marcus Smart's on him. That's not the issue here. But what I saw was Al Horford playing great defense against Joel Embiid, and I heard that too on Twitter and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, I see the Al Horford defense because every time he just picked the man's pocket or just took it out and just kept taking it out of him or taking it out of his hands. I was like, oh, wow, I can't believe Al Horford's doing this. And he kept just blocking the shot on him, man. And I understand, like, there was a little bit of help defense against Joel Embiid. But I was just like, what? What? Like one of the plays, there was 3 guys on him, and he still went to go drive in. And I was just like, what the heck? I understand he had a bad knee throughout this series, too. But you are the MVP. This is game 7 where you need to win, and you need to prove to yourself yourself. I'm not even talking about to the fans or anybody else. You need to prove to yourself that you can make it past round 2, and you don't even do that. I was so like I was yelling even though I knew the outcome. I was just like, "Damn it, Joel! Like, why aren't we going to drive? Why aren't we doing like, why aren't you like doing your little post fadeaways or anything? Like even when he did that, Al Horford was still blocking his shots. And it was just because it was predictable from James Harden and from Joel. Like every time every time James Harden went to go drive, it was always a pass out. Every time Joel Embiid had the ball, just you had to go help defense, and that's it. He'll just make, and every time there's help defense on him, he kept making the wrong plays. He kept on shooting bad shots when he could have passed out, and when he did pass out, he was doing stupid pass outs. Man, it was. I want to rant with this team, man, and I know I'm not even a 76ers fan. I feel bad for the 76ers fans because you went through 10 years of rebuilding only just to end up like this. And it sucks, man. It sucks that you can't even make it past the round 2. And this was your year. 2019 was your year. And it sucks because Game 6 should have been the win. Tatum should have not gotten that amount of points in a fourth quarter against you guys. Like, Game 6, you guys should have won that. And it pisses me off even more. That's what pisses me off even more. Is because you let it go to. It's because you guys let it go to Game 7. It turns into this where the crowd is now hyped up. You have the role players being better, and what sucks too is at the beginning, at the first half, your guys' role players were playing better than you guys. That's horrible. PJ Tucker's playing good defense. He's shooting corner shots. You have Tyrese Maxey doing great playmaking. Tobias Harris is making his shots. Ake Melton is playing great defense on Tatum and everyone else. But as soon as Jaylen Brown gets his technical from James Harden, and then also the crowd goes against or is all mad at the refs for Jaylen Brown getting his own technical. That's where it started turning, and I see the teammates so fired up because of that. Marcus Smart, Robert Williams is fired up because of that. Al Horford was just in the game the whole time, man. But you see, yeah. And then also the depth of the 76ers is awful, man. You have George Niang and then Paul Reed come in for backups minutes. And you have Shake Mountain, which is good. But other than him, literally, there's nobody else that's giving you positive minutes, because George Niang was in there for at least 2 minutes, probably more later on down the stretch, where it was just trash time basically, or garbage time. But I don't even know. I don't even want to watch past that. And I was just so disappointed in the 76ers. I'm so disappointed in James Harden. I'm so disappointed in Joel Embiid because I saw it was 9 points at the end of the game. It's no way does James Harden get 9 points. And you see why, because he just keeps driving and passing out. And he's not aggressive. And it was weird because Joel Embiid was aggressive on the defensive end. He kept getting he had 3 blocks in the first half, or 3 or 4 blocks in the first half. And I was like, how did Joel Embiid lose to this? And honestly, it was because of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And because of Horford's defense. Jaylen Brown at the beginning of the first half was on fire. He's doing really good. Jason Tatum, he had 25 points at the beginning too, but it was just a quiet 25 for me because most of them were at the free throw line, and then there's a couple threes in there. When people keep shooting threes, I'm just oh shoot, it just doesn't register that it becomes it becomes bigger points. So yeah, you had 25 points from Tatum in the first half, and he was doing really good. He was playing good. He was playing good in the first half, but that third quarter, it switched and he was just on fire. Nobody could stop him, and it was so weird because they always brought Joel Embiid out of the paint, and then that's what was crazy too, is because Joel Embiid was just, they always switched where they put Joel Embiid on Tatum. And it kept putting Joel Embiid out, and also Tatum can just kind of maneuver around him, shoot over him from the 3 and all that. And he could just blow by him too. Um, it was just his little half spin moves from Jason, like those were crazy to watch. I love to see. I love that little half spin and then drive to the lane from the left side on the first half. So I mean, great all around effort from the Celtics because you had Malcolm Brogdon play good defense too. You had Derek White play good defense. It was just double team on Joel Embiid, or it wasn't even double team. It's just all right. We have Horford or whoever on him, and then we just have the help defense. He'll make a horrible pass. We'll get that, and we'll just. And what was funny too was the 76ers when they pushed the pace, man. Like nobody was stopping them. Like they passed out to Tobias, they passed out to Maxey, and like they just kept getting buckets. And I was like, this is how you guys should be playing. Like you guys should be pushing the pace right now. But every time it was just James Harden slowing it down, Joel Embiid slowing it down. When Tucker was already in the corner, Tobias is already running down the floor. Maxey, Maxey, is already running. He's already at the court. He's already at the basket. But no, we're just like, we're going to slow it down. We're going to slow it down. When you see the Celtics push the pace, it's better. And then, oh my God, I totally forgot about this, but this pissed me off the most. Every time there's a James Harden pick from Embiid, it was always a freaking pick and pop. You know what? It was always a fucking pick and pop, man. Almost always a fucking pick and pop. And it was just so annoying because every time I was like, Embiid, just roll. And there was one time where he did roll and he didn't even make it. But I was like, that's a good shot. That's a good shot attempt. You were wide open. You just didn't make it. But every time it was a pick and pop. And I'm like, why are we having Joel Embiid sitting out from the arc? Why is Joel Embiid... There's a few times where they kept passing out and like just swinging the ball, and then Joel Embiid had the ball and like shot twice from the 3-point line. I was like, what are we do? Why are you doing that? You have such a slow release, man. Why are we shooting from three like that? You can't make them. You very rarely do. You're not like that from three. You're not like that. Like you should not be that far out from a fucking pick and roll. You need to pick and roll, not pick and pop and just stay out. Like you couldn't even stay at the top of the key. You had to go all the way to the 3-point line. That was what's pissed me off too. I was just like, what the hell are we doing? And the reason why it pissed me off is because James Harden and Joel Embiid are one of the best pick and rolls in the game, like ever. Like, not even just ever, but just this whole season, they were one of the best pick and rollers the whole time. Like, I believe top 2 or literally the top 1. So I was just like, why are we not doing that? Because we have Embiid just like taking on 3 guys. You could get fouls from that, and I was just so pissed, man. Like, but if we're talking about what we're doing in the offseason, I have no idea for the 76ers, if I'm being honest. Sorry. You can't see. But, because James Harden is free agent this year, Tobias Harris is a free agent, which nobody actually is talking about. I thought he was really good this series, making 20 points off of good efficiency. I think it was 50 and 50 from the field and from 3. He's a free agent. I love Maxey, man, as a player, but he's just not it for this team. Just because he's more a guy who needs the ball in his hand, and he's not going to have that with James Harden on the team. And do you get rid of Maxey and then make him the point, or do you get rid of Harden and just or you just kind of sign and trade Harden and get something out of that? But also, Joel Embiid. The thing is, Joel Embiid could also ask from a trade from all this too. Like he can. I believe he can ask for a trade out this offseason, which is kind of crazy to say, but that's just because I think he's just done with this team in general. Like, there's nothing if we run it back, and even if we do get Harden, Tobias, and all that stuff, and I don't see them being better next year if they run it back with the same team. Like, they're probably worse, man. Like, and I believe Embiid is on fraud alert for MVP this year. Like, what I know this is a little more recency bias still, but like, we have Jokic being the best player in the playoffs this year, and Embiid, and this is where we should have seen this coming from in the first round against the Nets. Like, every time Joel Embiid was on the double team, like, he just didn't know what to do. He was freaking out every time, and this is like that's what the Celtics did this game. And Joel Embiid was just freaking out and just kept making wrong plays, just making bad turnovers, bad shots. Like, I was just, and like I said, from the Nets series with the 76ers, I should have seen this coming, man. Like, if I saw the double team coming, I should have seen that Joel Embiid's not going to make the right play. And I got to look at that from now on. And, that's just his weakness. Like, he can't make the right plays out of a double team, and just is awful, like, in the playoffs. He's just awful in the playoffs. I understand he was injured for this series, but this is a Game 7 elimination. You guys were doing really good. He helped on the defensive end, but it was just a horrible game overall. Like, and again, yeah, like, again, if you bring back the whole team, it's just, yeah, cool. But where are we going from this? And I don't see them. I don't see him getting far. So I see probably Joel Embiid requesting a trade, and to where, I don't know, but I could see that. I could see James Harden leaving this offseason. Tobias Harris, I know people are not going to talk about, but he's definitely going to probably leave this offseason too. Or he might stay because this is where he's going to get the most money. But Joel Embiid, I can totally see and Doc Rivers is definitely going to get fired. You can get Monty Williams as a coach, and that'd be cool. But, like, I mean, because it sucks too, because you can't even get mid-level exceptions anymore. You can't get buyout players, and during the season and all that stuff. So it's going to be even harder for them to be retooling this team. So it's just, where do we go from here? And I understand for Sixers fans, it's going to suck if you guys go back to rebuilding mode, but I think that's just a better option. I truly believe that, because I don't think you're going to get as bad as luck as you did beforehand with Markelle Fultz and all them other players and Ben Simmons. Even though Ben Simmons was a really good player in the beginning, it just didn't work out throughout the whole thing. I know 76ers are just in full emotion mode, like, understandably, especially not even making past the second. And you guys have not made the finals since 2001 is what I saw. I was like, damn, that sucks, man. Like, as a Bulls fan, we at least made it to the finals, I think. Or we made it to at least the Eastern Conference Finals. But, like, man, that sucks. Like, you guys haven't even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And, like, people were talking, like, the whole process was for you guys to become a dynasty. You guys were supposed to win at least one championship, but to not even make it out of the second round is just disappointing. And I feel like this team's done. Like, Joel Embiid is done on this team, man. I truly believe that. And PJ Tucker, he played great defense, but he's just old, and he cannot he cannot make points anymore. I understand he shot all those threes from the corner in the beginning, but after that, it was just, that's it. That was all in the tank for him. And it was awful. Celtics, I give props to Tatum. I give props to all the role players. I give props to Jaylen Brown. Like, this was just great. This just great effort all around. Jaylen Brown was playing great defense, and Jason, everyone was playing great. Like, great defense, great offense, great, everything. Just great overall performance from the Celtics, man. So congrats to you, and even though I don't like the Celtics fans at all, but just congrats to you guys. You guys made it back to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Heat again. So that's kind of a nightmare for you guys. You guys didn't expect this. You guys are at least expecting the Bucks, at least, or the I was expecting at least the Cavs, if not the Bucks. But hey, you know, this playoff series is just a whole different ride, man. And I'm truly loving it because you just see, like, I was expecting the Suns and the Bucks, but I got proven wrong so badly. The Suns didn't make it past second round. The Bucks didn't even make past the first round, which is so crazy to me still. And now we have a bubble run again. So, and people are just like, the bubble's not fake. The bubble's not fake. And man, it's just crazy to even think like we're having another bubble season. And man, I'm truly loving this playoff run in general. Like, the Heat are a true underdog in this whole series again. Well, not even last year they weren't even the underdogs, but this year they're the true underdogs of the whole playoff run. The Nuggets are like the most like underrated number one seed I've ever seen, and that's even me like going to their games and even like saying, oh, they're not that good. Like, I truly thought they weren't getting past the Suns or the Clippers, and like, but the thing I was like didn't count on was just consistency from the team overall. Like, Jokic and Jamal, like, these guys have not been injured that much. Jokic barely is injured. He's like, the only time he gets out is when he's like just needs rest. And man, like, and then Aaron Gordon gets has no injuries. MPJ has like is 50-50 throughout the season. Like, I want to say 60-40 at least. Same with Jamal Murray. Bruce Brown has not truly missed any games. KCP missed a lot of games. I know that. But the consistency, the overall chemistry between them is just great in that team. And like, you have Jeff Green, Christian Brown, Bruce Brown coming off the bench. They still have Thomas Bryant, who they haven't even played, which is still crazy to me. And yeah, like, yeah. And they even have Reggie Jackson, who they don't even use too, which is it's still crazy to me. But and then you have the Lakers, who were just not even a contender this year at the beginning of the season. Like, it was a 0.038% chance of winning and all that good stuff. And then now they made it to the Western Conference Finals. And then the Celtics are the only ones that were truly favored to win the whole playoff run. But 3 out of 4 teams not even expected to be here. That's kind of crazy, man. That's crazy. But I will be live doing the draft lottery Tuesday, so we'll get to see who's gonna pick the Wemby. But also for the draft in general, I think there's gonna be a lot happening, especially because of Wembanyama and all the other players. Like, it's gonna be a crazy night, I think, on draft night, because everyone's gonna want to trade for Scoot Henderson and all this other stuff. So I'm expecting crazy things draft night, but draft lottery is it's still gonna be crazy too, because we're gonna figure out who's gonna be picking Wemby. But man, I cannot wait for draft night. But yeah, we'll be live for draft lottery, so check me out on that. Leave a like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And again, my favorite play of the night was Jason Tatum doing his little half spin, and just driving to the basket, man. Like, that, his little half spin is crazy and really good. But yeah, that's all I got to say. So, please leave a like, subscribe. It does help the channel. I know this is not the best place for me to be recording right now, but my room's kind of a mess because some things happened in there. I'm not going to really try to explain it, but yeah, some things happened in there, so I'm just kind of in here doing my own little recording on my phone and just kind of rewatching. But yeah, again, leave a like, subscribe, comment your favorite moment of the night, and yeah, see you guys Tuesday night when we have the draft lottery and the game.